Okay, everyone. So thank you all for being here. There is so much energy rushing through my body right now that I'm very happy to be in nature so that I can help myself ground it all, because there's like, so many beings of different dimensions and forms and different messages. Okay, I will try again. There's more people coming in. Let me just see. Okay. Yeah. So I think we're just gonna throw ourselves into it. But to start, I want us all to really feel the energy of this field, because it's very powerful, and also acknowledging each and every one of you for participating. And so I will do a guided meditation where there will be both a little bit of light language. For those of you who have not heard light language before, I will just do a very quick presentation of it. It is something that was activated in me in 2018. And it's basically it is light, which is information that is coming through, and kind of in my body, it comes through my voice, through it's not words, it's light codes is what I call it. So it's information packages, which means it's downloads, but they have very different purposes. And the purpose for today is to transmit to you directly into your subconscious mind and unconscious mind, reprogramming, clearing out, taking away everything that is not real, which is basically everything that is not love is not real. It feels real to our human experience, which we will talk more about later in the session. But light language is pure when it's channeled. Well, it's not always pure, but it will be pure through me, because I've worked many, many years to purify my vessel, to be able to share it with others in an authentic and undistorted way. So you will feel it. You will feel it when it starts. And if you don't like physically feel anything, this big is starting like opening meditation that we will do will prepare your body to open up to receive, because today is mostly about receiving. It's about activating what is already within you, what is all distortions. We will work on the distortions in our fields, in our cellular memory, which is basically the only thing that hinders and blocks us from being our full potential. So I will both use the crystal balls, and I will use a little bit of music now in the beginning. We also have a couple of children with us today, which is our new generation. And yes, it's the children and the new babies that come in now, they have a completely different mapping. So it's most of us are sitting here now, we're in our 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. And we are the ones struggling the most, because we have had one leg in each reality, and we know what is waiting. Well, at least we have a sense of what is coming and what the world will look like in just a few years. And just more people coming in. But it's still, even if we know this, it's super difficult sometimes to embody these things. And this is what we're going to work with today, part of it. So if everyone now just please find yourself a good place to sit or lie down, and I will start the transmission with a little bit of music. Let's see if I can manage the technologies here today. Okay. So sit with your spine straight up. And just start breathing from the belly, like so that you really bring the air all the way down to your belly. You can even hold a hand, one hand on your belly and one on your heart. And just start to breathe in and out, deep breaths. And just feel now how we are all in this field of love light together. And I'm going to bring through energies to help all of the downloads, attunements, upgrades that will be coming today, to be the facilitator of these energies into your fields, into your bodies. And the only thing that you need to do is open up, surrender, and let go of anything that is not in this present moment. And if you feel like it, start moving your body because we are humans. And we need to feel ourselves to properly integrate all of these energies and to be able to open up. It's not just our minds and drifting off into another dimension. It's really bringing it down into the body that will create this new earth and this new version of ourselves. So when I do these transmissions, I always move myself in any direction that I feel comfortable with, any direction that I'm being guided to move. And as soon as you start moving, and I start moving my hands above my head, opening up my crown, opening up my whole body to receive, it's like a shower of diamond codes just pouring in through me with so much ease and grace. And so now, codes of light will flow through your body to open up every little corner of your being. Deep breath. Shivaya tiananai keralasho tui viayati jaya kitoni kashtiate. Vai wiania oralashia tiana kostia oratish iwaya inostiaka. Mi oya joyetiaka ara ostia imaiki. Avioyashiatu ikayare ista imakuyatish tuyati joyetiana. Mauhi esta mukia arlo ostia tia kumaki esta. Mes joyetia va arakesta. Vayakia ea. Vai vo obia karish. Vayati vaya chia. Vayaki. We're connecting with our star families, ascended masters, angelic realm, our unified self, Mother Earth, who is holding us through this whole process. We can't do anything without being fully embodied, being fully in our bodies, allowing energies to flow through us, being guided through our hearts. And so the shift, the biggest shift we will do in this lifetime is the shift from the mind and down to the heart space, where everything flows with so much ease and grace and peace, so much compassion for our fellow human beings, regardless of whether people are awake or deep asleep. We are all creators, co-creators in this magnificent game of life, All of us have decided to come into this specific lifetime exactly for this purpose, for co-creating it together. But what is special this time is that we all came to participate in something that has never been done before. And this is the shift from the third to the fifth dimension, reality experience, through a brief stop or a brief transition through the fourth, which is where many of us are right now. And it's challenging, it's brutal, it's acquiring us to step up to something much more than previous lifetimes on Earth, where many just came to explore and experience. This time around, we came to be part of the shift. Many of us actively participating. And many just here to watch. And just here to be able to say, I was here. I was there when it happened. And take a deep breath. Shalia korashtia. Vojiata makarateashti to ima hiatiashti. Mayukiana kashtiatiana. Tiana. Vayuyashiatiana karashtiati. Maikoyashtiatia mahana chiatia kiara. Okay, so now we're back here. Still, these transmissions that I am being asked to offer, they are bringing people into, it's like taking the highway. So we're being lifted up in a higher dimension, in a higher frequency band, where we can observe everything from a higher vantage point, from a higher perspective, where we can just feel the reality, the true reality of things. And so this is a beautiful state to be in, where there's really all is well when we're in that state. But obviously then when we come out of that state, usually we can stay in that state if someone helps us hold the field. And when we get more and more trained, we're able to hold ourselves in that field. But that takes a lot of practice, a lot of initiations, a lot of rites of passage and dark nights of the soul. I guess these words and concepts are familiar to many of you. But basically, it's the human journey is the hero's journey, is what I always say. It's can be incredibly challenging and very, very confusing. And the reason why I share is that I have really walked and am walking the human journey, the hero's journey. I am always being asked to experience things myself before I can talk about it or that I can share it at all. Because the whole point of me experiencing it, and eventually after many trials and tribulations and errors and trying again, in the end, eventually we become that. And it's not like something happening overnight, because our bodies are not built that way. It takes, usually, it can, if you have a soul mission or something that makes you adapt and available to very quick shifts, and that your physical body supports shifts like that, it is possible to happen. Miracles can absolutely happen, and they will happen a lot more in these times that we're in now and in the times ahead. However, it's for most people, I would say that the first years for me was a lot of disappointments, because I was so awake inside, and my soul was so ready for everything that the remembrance that I got back. You know, I started remembering how everything was, how the game of life really worked and why we're here, and that nothing is really right. Everything is just flipped upside down. This world is, I mean, it's the way it's supposed to be, but it's not real. It's not how it was supposed to be in the beginning when the creators created this reality experience. So what happens then is that humanity fell so deep in consciousness, and with that their bodies became really, really, really dense, which is also why we have so much illness, and because basically all of our programmings and our subconscious beliefs, they are now starting to express in our physical bodies, which is just the way it is in this reality experience, which is a frequency band. It's like a TV channel. So basically you have tons of other TV channels, but since humanity holds a certain vibration from, let's just say 3.0 until 4.0, that's like where most of us have this range. If we could measure ourselves, which we'll be able to do, and maybe there's this even already some institutions that can do this, but we can feel it. When you meet a person, their vibration is the first thing you feel. If you tune into, if you don't listen to what they say, just feeling their presence, this is their vibration. When you meet someone and you have that gut feeling and you just feel what they're all about, and this can of course be good or bad, or which is not relevant, but learning how to discern, which is a word that I will probably use quite a lot. So discernment means being able to know one thing from the other, and to be able to discern truth, for example, is an incredibly important skill that we need to cultivate when we are in this process of ascension. Because as you have probably recognized many, many times, our minds can think something because someone is saying something, or perhaps because they have a specific title. This can be both in business and especially in the spiritual world. A lot of people, they kind of claim titles, or they claim that they have these or these skills. They have certificates or they have education. But as we know, anyone can go to school. You can go to the university and have a professor's degree in something, and you still don't embody this knowledge. You know, anyone can, if you have a quick brain, you can teach yourself anything, basically. But that does not mean that this is who you are. It's not necessarily integrated in your human beingness. And so what I will say, like a little bit of an advice on this spiritual journey, is that it is a journey where you realize that you cannot go to any external source to have an answer to anything, because the whole point of awakening and going through the phases of awakening, liberation, embodiment, which is what I call them. You can call them anything, but it's just like a it's just like a description of the typical phases that most people go through. And basically, it's not a linear process. It goes in spiral. So very often you go back to something that you visited very early on. And then, like for me now, for example, I go back to things that everything is coming to a closure, a full circle, after many, many years of going through all of these different stages. And now I'm kind of back to where I started, which was human liberation in 2015. And what we're doing here today is human liberation. We're liberating ourselves from our inner prisons, liberating ourselves from not external oppressors, but from our own inner oppression and suppression and ignorance and what is the world in, like, we have forgotten everything that we are. And so this is also something I'm going to talk a little bit about, these different stages and what ascension is really about. But coming back to, this is a really solitary journey, and we will use our external environment for help. And there are so many amazing stepping stones and tools and everything that we need to be able to do this process. But in the end, it comes down to ourselves. And for me, that was possibly, and I know also for many of my clients, that has been the most emotionally loaded phase, because there's so much grief in realizing that we are alone. But then on the other side, you realize that you're everything but alone. We are not alone, but in our human body experience, loneliness is being felt because we have to kind of do it all by ourselves. We can go out there and have help. We can have beautiful friends. We can have guides, both ethereal and physical. But in the end, it's us that we have to do the job. And I don't even want to use the word job, because it's what we came here for. It's soul evolution. It's exploration and experience, and nothing. We cannot sit down on the school bench and just read a book and be enlightened. Enlightenment comes through the human journey by really participating in and immersing ourselves in Earth School. And all of our subjects is, what we experience as humans. It's relationships of all kinds. It's the physical body, understanding how do we support our physical body? How do I not listen to someone else telling me what I need to do? How do I build courage, integrity, strength, resilience, patience to really understand what my body needs in this process? And it will change. It will change like throughout our journey of ascension. What our body needs will change. But what I can say is that the energy level coming into this planet right now, and it has been for a few years now, but like this year is unprecedented, and it will be like, it's accelerating like this. And it's not like a punishment or anything. That is not even existing. It's just a human concept. This concept of being punished, or that something happens as a karma, like that we are being somehow, because we have been bad, or that we haven't done the right thing. It's a self adjusting mechanism. It's not about punishment from the outside. It's about attunement. And for example, I came from like a culture where I ate meat, and I had a what is it called? Like my diet was was just normal Norwegian, everything that Norwegians eat, and I like the taste. I liked the taste of it. So for me, it was not even in my awareness that this was not good for me. But then fast forward to now, which it's been a process of 5 to 8 years. With different, like, in the beginning, it was slow. I was able to kind of allow myself, that was what I said, like, I allow myself to do this and that, because it was still something that belonged to my human pleasure and preference. But in the end, my body was not able to handle it, because when the body vibration rises up, we are getting more and more and more sensitive to what we can feed it, both in food and drinks and environment, people, jobs, everything that we surround ourselves with. We are being so fine-tuned to what our body can withstand, but even more so, what is giving nurture and what is bringing more life force. So this is something I'm just saying so that you pay attention. Learn through your own navigation system what the body tells you. Do I need this? Is it my mind telling me that I want Coca-Cola or whatever, something that we know with our mind that is not particularly healthy for us, but we still want it. For example, I still have a glass of wine every now and then because I love it so much. And my body does not react good to it at all. I can have one glass. And then after that, it's just, yeah, it's telling me very clear that, why are you doing this? Well, no, not really, because that's kind of a judgment in that. Not why are you doing this, but do you really want to continue doing this because you are hurting yourself, basically. So I'm telling this because one of the most important aspects of the Ascension journey is humility. And understanding and accepting, embracing that we are just humans, and humans are something incredibly amazing. But being humble means that also we are stepping into something where we are letting go, we are shedding our identities, our personas, to realize what is on the other side. But that journey is not easy. It's challenging because we are in a physical human body, and we have to deal with our subconscious, unconscious programming. We have to deal with our human will, our lack consciousness, our victim consciousness, all of that which has been ingrained in us for years and years, eons of time, which was the purpose. So there's a huge discussion or a theme, a topic that has to do with who the owners of this planet, who that is, and what the repercussions for us have been. And I'm not going to talk about this in this webinar because it's a very big and huge topic, but it's an interesting one. And very early in my journey, I was trained both in my physical reality to see how this plays out, and also by my guides to recognizing darkness and learn how to navigate when we meet darkness in ourselves. And it's basically all in us, but it's experienced from the human perspective that it's out there. But this is an incredibly important topic because it's in the spiritual community, it's often a lot of love and light, which is basically the only thing that's true and real. But on the other hand, because we are in this third dimensional reality experience right now, it's an experiment. And to be able to handle what's happening in this game, we have to know how to deal with, handle, and navigate our way in all fields of life. So in the human experience, in this universe, there is free will. This means that everything is allowed. So the initial response to that would possibly be that we become afraid and we think that we have no control of what can happen in this world or to ourselves. But the thing is the exact opposite. So let's just put ourselves in a little bit of a, because I love watching movies and series and stuff like that, because they hold so many codes and clues, and it's basically playing out something. Very often it's a song lyric, or it's a movie, or it's something in a book that is telling me this is how I communicate with my guides and my higher levels. And so, of course, there are a lot of not very good movies and music as well, but use your guidance, and really it's my advice or my invitation to really use everything in the human journey in your Earth School experience and evolution, because everything holds a message. If it speaks to you, either you're triggered or you are, it triggers something, activates something within you that reminds you of something that you already know. And very often it helps you put the dots together, because it's getting more and more confusing, this experience that we're going through right now, and it's never been done before. So also, there's not many places you can go and ask for like, what is the answer to this? You can only get You can ask me, you can ask other coaches or mentors or guides, and they can put you, like they can say something to you that perhaps is the next stepping stone. But in the end, it's all when it's coming together, and this has been my reality now the last few months, it's been such a completion of everything that I've been through. And I see, and for me, I said to my family, it's like, I feel like I'm in the Hunger Games. So for anyone who has seen the Hunger Games, it's like there is complete, everything is allowed. There's so much brutality and so many challenges, which it was not my reality, of course. I mean, it was nothing like that, no death and no, it was just incredibly challenging. And I was very confused, and I have a very strong mind, which is also, it's my, for those who know human design and gene keys and stuff like that, it's part of my profile, which is my intelligence and my intellect. And my mind is super strong and very capable, but it's also my biggest shadow because it blocks me from being completely present in my body when something happens. I always want to find out what I can do with a situation or how I can solve things, both for myself and the people in my life. And this has been a huge training to really let go of feeling that responsibility further to a bigger extent than is humanly possible. So you have the Hunger Games, which is basically our world right now. Everything is just beyond comprehensibly brutal and tragic in many ways, with the wars going on and the conflicts between, well, it's basically separation and division in its worst expression. And also you have that the aspect of what is true and what is not true. 1 second, more people coming in. So, so when I say our experience right now can be like a shift between absolute bliss and beauty and compassion and love, and we feel so good one day, and then the next it can feel incredibly confusing and frustrating and fearful. And in this way, we have to have a navigation map. We need something to come back to. We have to remember all the whys. Why are we here? Why did we even choose to come in something that feels so incredibly harsh, and especially for people who are waking up and who have been awakened for a long time. I'm sorry. These are harsh environments. And for those who have earlier lifetimes in the Pleiades or Venus or like really loving planets, this is like a complete horror show for both the nervous system and for the hearts. It's like, it's incomprehensible. But, and I am like that, but I have trained myself. I had a warrior in me from quite early on when I was a child. There is always these archetypes or these different parts of ourselves that we need to activate. We have to be resilient in a world and to be able to handle it in this world right now. We have to activate different parts of ourselves. We cannot be just love and light. We can be that inside, but we also need some tools to be warriors, to be light warriors, not to fight anyone, but to be resilient and powerful and to know what being a warrior means. It doesn't mean go to war with anyone. It just means being a leader, being fully in your body, being courageous, kind. There are so many words I could use, but just for the sake of it, just to bring it all in. And you have the magician, you have, these are Tony Robbins archetypes, but there are so many leaders who share different things. And for me, actually, he was the one who forced me into my body again, not him personally, but his teachings, because I was so exhausted and worn out by my service to this planet, to myself. And I was confused because I didn't know the way forward. And it's actually very simple, because if we leave our bodies, like figuratively speaking, if we don't pay attention to the strength within, we will not be able to handle what is coming and what is already present. So, and he talks about the warrior and the magician who's playful and who can alchemize a situation to change in a second. He talks about the lover, which is the true self, you know, the part of us that is always present, who is just can lie a hand on the heart, and you just feel your essence and the source within and the connection to everything. And that all of this out there is just a game, it's a play. However, for the human experience, it's real, but we have to use all of these different archetypes and aspects of ourselves to really embody all of these different personas, or it's not even personas, but energies, to be able to handle this. And he also talks about the sovereign, which is the god goddess within, who knows everything, you know, and this is why I'm here. So all of these others, they are super important for me to be able to do what I'm here to, because we need resilience, we need courage, we need to be always choosing love instead of fear. And all of these different new earth templates, that I refer to them as the virtues of the new earth, or the fifth dimensional reality and beyond, which is discernment, it's gratitude, it's peace, it's love, all of these, but it's also a lot of quite particular skills that we need to practice and cultivate to be able to actually, in every single moment of our lives, being that, not going to a seminar or a workshop or an event, being immersed in all that beauty and being able to manifest and control our minds and all of that. And then we go home and then we forget all about it and we are different persons. This is not embodiment. This is intellectual knowledge, which might perhaps be the first step. You know, we might have to go through that. I did that for years. I wrote pages on pages with very advanced like knowledge that was channeled through me about cellular DNA, about upgrading our 12-strand DNA, the crystalline DNA, like really, because also through my education, I went through chemistry and physics and all of that. So I understood it very well myself, and I understood everything that was given to me, but I didn't embody that. So I didn't have my crystalline DNA activated. I just started, you know, and there's all of these different strands. So back in 2018, I started working on my 6th strand, which holds different abilities. That was when my light language was activated. And for you guys as well, this is going to happen with Godspeed now. It's going to happen so quickly. So really tuning into where you are. This is not a competition. It has nothing to do with any of that, because all of us, we play such unique roles, which is also why I have so much love and compassion for humanity. We are trained to think that everything is a battle, everything is a competition. We have so much judgment towards ourselves and everyone around us, which is keeping us. It takes so much more time when we allow ourselves to fall into that space where we are afraid because someone may not like us, or they do not understand us, or they might tell something bad about us to others. This is the characteristics of the third dimensional reality. It's judgment, it's separation, it's anything that makes us stuck in the matrix. Okay, so I am guided now just quickly because this is something that sits in our core. So we're going to do a quick light language transmission now to release whatever really, really gripping energies that are inhibiting you guys from just letting it all go. Just let it all just dissolve and allow you to step into this new space where you realize this is not relevant, We're all here just playing each other up as co-creators and opponents. It's like, and the further you get on this journey, the more acceleratingly worthy opponents you get, which means it's going to get more and more challenging. Okay, so I'm going to use the crystal balls now. So just sit back and just set the intention, if this is your willing, to allow the third dimensional matrix with all its hooks, all its manipulations and lies and illusions to fall away from you in this very moment with ease and grace. Take a deep breath. Just keep breathing deeply, closing your eyes, allowing for whatever comes up for you to show itself. Maybe it's physically in your body, that you can feel somewhere in your physical body, which is feeling a little bit tight. Any emotion. Maybe you have an emotional expression. Just allow it, and you are the observer. Just fall back and observe everything that is being given to you in this moment. And know that allowing this to fall away from your body and your cellular memory, your subconscious programming, your unconscious programming, beliefs that you've had so long that you don't even know about it. This is keeping you stuck in a reality that you do not wish to pertain anymore. These codes are like psychic surgery. It goes into your system, into your cells. It's clearing out any distortions in your field, in your body, in your brain, both physical, spiritual, emotional, mental. These are Syrian codes from our brothers and sisters in Sirius. I just continue breathing, and my sweet daughter, she came in and said that you don't hear the crystal balls, but I will put on a function here now so that you will hear them. So I will continue and just sharing it. Syrians are master geneticists. They were the original designers, together with other species, for the new human before things went wrong. And so they are also part of the assistance now, where we are given a lot of help to clean up and to restore our original blueprint, which is what we're doing right now. Take a deep breath. And with every out breath, just allow for all of these structures that have been keeping you blocked, not being able to receive, distorting your antennas, blocking your throat chakra, your crown chakra, your sacral, keeping you in the lowest form of fear, being easy to manipulate and control. We're releasing all of that now. If you feel any tension, just put a hand on your heart and allow for a deep, sparkling light to start forming in your heart space, like a sun in your heart. Shaure ina. The Pleiadians are coming in now. Ejuiatia oya ina ekiashdia. Avioya jiatiana maikiana. Stabilizing your nervous system, assuring your body that all is well. It is safe to release all of these blockages, all of these systems that has been in complete control of your body and your mind and blocked your heart from being what it really is, the truth of who you are. Shamiaotiashti. Shamioyatia. Kwayo jiaweatia nana karalasha totomika. Joyatia makashtiatiana. Kwayo loro jianunia kashtia tonto opiatia shtayekiana. Shtaara eashtaara. Yashtaarati mahashti ayati kiatoshtia mana hiachatia komai. Shavio Koshtiano, Kiashtiatano. Allow the remembrance of who you are beyond this human experience to flow through you. Shamiaore iashta. Shawia inai kestoyetiao ishvaya tiashtia. Mastoyekiana. Avioyashiatiana kara eshtaya. Oye joyetiana. Yarachawatia ikaya. Amioshta. We're being lifted up to a point of perspective which belongs to the higher dimensions of this universe, so that you can feel in your physical body that something else is available to you. Shao mare keshta avioshta ia okiana eshta itia tia. And this is why many of you came to this earth plane, to embody this new frequency band, this new vibration, and to share it with everyone that you are in proximity to, and also just anchoring it in into the earth plane, into the grids. You can basically be by yourself in the forest and not meet a single person. You can still have a huge effect on humanity, on Earth, connecting to her core. Mother Earth coming through now. And she is singing to you. Connect with me and feel the truth that is available to you at all times. Connect with all of my beautiful fifth dimensional vibrating trees and flowers, the grass you walk upon. All is one with you, with your heart, as soon as you reach out and connect. By touching it, or simply becoming the flower you're watching, the tree, the air, the sun. You can simply move your consciousness into that object, because you are not really your body. You are the consciousness that experiences itself through that body that you chose. Just like you can choose a car to drive around the country and experience different states, different places. Your body is just a vehicle that you chose. It is not connected or attached to your awareness, your consciousness, which is behind that. It is ever existing. It is infinite. If you allow yourself to explore this during your day, you will factually feel this. You will feel that you are not your body, or your thoughts, or your emotions. You are the awareness experiencing it. which is why death is just something that happens to the physical body. It's nothing that happens to the soul, to your unique soul essence, to your signature, your energy. It keeps on living in different forms, which is also why we can all connect here today. And you can connect with me, the Earth Mother, speaking through this vessel right now. She's just using her body so that you can hear my voice expressed through a human being. But if you tune in, you can feel the vastness of who I am. Your Earth Mother who holds you through everything, through all of your experiences, all of your challenges. Shaviul naral shodro boko yatia kashri. Shlarawa yatia nonomoya kya na ajia yatia noko via ojoto ntea ko etea. Mio jvait akwo via kantao yajotum to pokoto yatia stata tiatashta. These codes are making our connection stronger, so that you remember that you can connect, that everything around you, all of nature is available and free to you whenever you need a reset. And you simply lie your body down on the earth ground. Or if you don't have that opportunity, you just move your consciousness. You move your consciousness to be one with me, because you are not your body, and you can travel anywhere. I will leave you now, but never leaving you. Sharia okono shiati, vayojoyati anakarala shiati, mayonashtiati. I love you. I bless you for being here. It is beyond important for humanity's evolution and for my ascension to becoming a crystalline star. And I am the one who is holding you all, because I have worked with raising my vibration. The space that I'm holding for all of you is making it easier for you to raise your vibration and to be able to handle the energies coming to us, to me, to Earth at this time. And as soon as you connect with me, if you feel overwhelmed by the level and intensity of the energies coming in, you ground yourself into my being, and you will receive all the help that you need to be able to help these energies settle, integrate, stabilize in your physical body and system. And please remember this: no necessary suffering is needed. There is no suffering needed at this point. Allow for these energies now to settle. Thank you, dear Mother. And allow these codes now to stabilize your system. And allow the nervous system to be completely calm. And for your human to feel held. And loved. We have all of nature with us here now. Both wind and dogs, sheep, chicken, the sun, all of the elements are here, and so much support. Now take a deep breath as we're coming out of this transmission. Just touch your body and send so much gratitude and love to your body for having said yes to participate in this and to hold you while your soul is being able to experience this and to evolve. And for your body is the vehicle that transports your vibration out into the world and that anchors it into the earth, which helps Mother Earth clearing out. The more of us who does this, the more who anchors this energy into the earth plane and connects with her heart, connects with her core. It's like a grid being filled with these new templates, this new energy. And this is why it's not necessary to speak highly, like to speak loud. You can just do your thing wherever you are and contribute immensely to this evolution and to this acceleration of the shift. Okay, so slowly coming down or out. We don't have to come down. This is actually the state that eventually we will be in the whole time. But for now, it might be a little bit straining on the body to keep this high vibration for a very long time. So what I will say about that is that sometimes when you meet someone that holds a lower vibration than you might feel nauseous or there's a lot of energy moving here now. I don't know if you can hear all the all the dogs, but they're going crazy. Yeah, anyway, so if you meet people or environments that hold a lower vibration than yourself, then at least my feelings are I often become nauseous. I get a headache. I just feel really out of sorts. But then again, as soon as I center myself and start like building my own energy again, but sometimes if you're taken off guard and you're not prepared, then it happens and then, oh, wow. And then you just have to recenter yourself and start vibrating your own frequency out. And then basically that's what you need to be protected. Because I don't really like the term to protect ourselves, because we don't want to close ourselves in, although in some specific phases of our journey, it might be necessary to have this like protectional field. Sometimes I build that around my clients so that they will have like training wheels until they're able to build this force field to be strong enough to kind of be in your own vibration regardless of the external circumstance, which can be super, super hard if there's a lot of noise. Or I mean, I lived in Mexico City last year and there's ambulances and turbulence. It's like chaos. And so, I mean, I actually managed it quite well, but in the end, it's not what I prefer. So now I'm in the countryside and being super, super happy. Oh God, I'm talking. Let's see how much time we have left. Yeah, that's good. Perfect. What was I saying? Yes. So the other ways that you meet someone who holds a higher energy than you, or you step into a field where the energy is higher than what you're holding yourself, which is not, as I said earlier, this is not about being better or not having come that far or anything like that. That is just so irrelevant for our journeys, because everyone is exactly where they are supposed to be, and it's all perfect, because also there is no changing overnight. This is a big process, and as you could feel now, possibly, or maybe this was your first time experiencing light language and crystal balls, but in the end, your body will, okay, this is better. I keep forgetting that I have to turn on and off the background noise. And for you to hear these bowls, I needed to put it off, but I forgot in the beginning. So, but I think we got it. So in the end, there's not a competition, and it's like school. You would never be judgmental. Yeah, I know. My daughter says again that there's a lot of noise. I can't do anything about it. But now I think it's better because I turned off the background noise. So we are where we are supposed to be at all times. And because if we try to be somewhere that we're not, then this disrupts our journey, and it disrupts what needs to be done on our specific path and at the vibration we are at that specific time. So this is why it's so crucial for everyone to really own their process, owning their soul's choice of how this is gonna flow for you, because it's gonna look so different than everyone else's journey. Because also you have a different purpose. We all have so different purposes. It's like making a movie. Everyone cannot be pure light, and someone has to play the bad guy, and we all did in other lifetimes. So it's like, this is where the concept of divine love, unconditional love, it shouldn't be conditional or unconditional. Love is only one thing, it's unconditional. So our concept of love in this reality is just not really love. You can call it love from a third dimensional perspective, but it's not really the love that we all are longing for, because this love is a love that you feel for everything in creation, and also really honoring and respecting and accepting even that there will be some really bad things happening on this planet, and you will come across some people who do not have access to their to source, or they do not feel the presence of love, or feeling the presence of source in their being. And that creates a separation within that will always be something that this being will be craving for, because since they don't feel sourced in themselves, they will always look for it outside. So maybe you will be the target to get that source. And this is a whole discussion that I will have in the coming webinars about narcissism. And I don't even have to use that word because it's like a word who is a bit labeled, but it basically is about vibration and feeling separation from source. And this is like the parasitic vampirism, like polarity game, and how this sustains itself because it can't sustain on themselves, or they believe that they cannot sustain themselves, so they have to go somewhere else to get their food, so to speak, or the energy. And we can have a lot of feelings about that. I have experienced it throughout my life. It's been my soul journey to learn really what's going on the planet right now. It's incredibly fascinating. It's so important to understand. It's about learning about darkness, learning about all the different what is accepted in this universe. And it's basically everything. And it can be the worst horror that you've ever seen. So this is always part of my training with my clients, that I wish to teach them about red and yellow, because if we don't put any labels on it other than what it actually is, it's someone who cannot sustain on their own light and someone who can sustain on their own light. And what happens between that's what's going on this planet right now. Because in other dimensions, everyone knows, they're self-aware. All beings, all souls, regardless of what form they take, they know about their divinity. They know about their true source connection, which I also will talk about it in another webinar, which is basically, today I've been talking about different star systems, like the Pleiades, the Arcturians. Well, I didn't talk about that, but they were here. The Sirians, like all different consciousnesses that manifest throughout this universe. There are a ton more, but today we had these present, and Mother Earth, beautiful presence. A different presence than usually what she comes through with. But anyway, these are also just like a different TV station, because it's important to understand that source is where everything comes from. Like, that is what's running through us. And it's like source is this, it's the column that when I connect and share a transmission, that's what I connect to. And then on this kind of pillar of light that goes infinitely up, there's this, okay, so here we are down here, the third dimension. And then we go up here, there's a field of Pleiadians that come in, they come from the side, you know, and then you have the angelic realm, and or the other way around. So there are all these different energies that comes in, are also just expressions of source, like they're different TV channels. But we all, regardless of whether we are Pleiadians, Sirians, humans, and angels, a tree, like anything in creation is source energy, which is the column here. And then we can connect here. But that's also, so this is why very often we have this great respect and we adore and admire something that is higher up on the elevator, so to speak, like a star family. Yes, they're incredibly much higher than us in vibration and in consciousness, but they just, even if we're further down energy-wise, they don't look at us as lower, or they don't look at us with judgment. They look at us as equals and co-creators, because what we're doing down here now is incredibly important and will have ripple effects for all of the other layers up. So this is why we just really have to claim our human beingness, and realizing that we're not some small creatures just running around like ants down here. Well, we are when we are asleep. We're not particularly charming. It's not comfortable to be around really people who are very unawake, but it's still an expression of source. It's like you can create something red or green. It really is the human judgment that puts it into any kind of preference. Because in the end, preferences are not also, I mean, it has a validity in our process, because often, like, some people have extreme boundaries and are just kind of walking all over other people, while others are maybe don't have any boundaries and just allowing themselves to be used in ways that are not, what do you say, complementary to either part. So what we are learning here is to really stand in our own sovereignty, and to learn what that means, to learn what integrity means, to learn what truth is, because truth is not one absolute thing. I mean, there are universal laws that are absolute. But if I look at this table that I have my computer on, if I look at it from this side, it's truth that it looks in a certain form. But if I look at it from another perspective, it will look different. So this concept of truth is also something we're going to dive into in the consecutive webinars, because learning to discern truth not based on what you're seeing or hearing, but based on the vibration of what something presents as. That is what we need. This is the skill that we will need, because this universe, as I said earlier, is allowing everything. It is in this dimension, and also in other dimensions, there are not only benevolent extraterrestrials, to say it like that, like Pleiadians and Arcturians. They are benevolent beings. But there are also these other beings that are not benevolent, and they don't have a connection to source. They don't remember that. And so they will always try to get it from somewhere else. And the good news about that is very easy to become sovereign and in our integrity, and to stand in our power, and to put up to ignite this incredible fire within us, because the universal laws, they don't allow them to violate that. So this is why I say that I mean, through my initiations in this human journey, I needed to learn that because I didn't have proper boundaries. Or again, boundaries is a loaded word. I like it better than I needed to learn how to shine my soul essence so much that I would repel absolutely anything that comes near me that is not for my highest good. And I can tell you, it's not always aligned with my ego's will, because very often I find that I'm repelling things that I would like to have here. And also not attracting what I would love to have here. So I'm still not stable enough in my energetic field so that I can fully experience what I know is coming. So what I want to say with that is that each of you now, you can just look at your outside reality to know what you are vibrating. So you just watch and observe your external reality, all the people in it, all the situation that is there, and know that this is your creation. It could not happen if you didn't vibrate it out first. And then, of course, there's a lot of resistance to accepting what I'm saying right now, because very often we are not even aware of what we're vibrating out. And so what we've done today, we've pierced into our subconscious and unconscious to deal with exactly what I'm talking about now. Because 95% of what we send out, 95% of all our creations happens from our unconscious and subconscious mind, which is where all of our limiting beliefs, everything that was stored in our consciousness from 0 years, from the womb until 7, 8 years old, it's there, and it's a driving force of almost everything that we do. And so we can go to all of these seminars and events, and we can immerse ourselves in new things and think that our reality will change. But this is just our creative conscious mind that creates these things, that wants, okay, listen, I need to change things in my life because I'm not living the life that I want to. And of course, then we don't understand why things aren't changing over time. Maybe we can manage for a little while, you know, a couple of years, or I don't think that's even possible anymore. It was before, but now it's like, well, at least in my reality, things are collapsing like this if it's not aligned with what I'm vibrating. And that can be both on the positive and negative side. Yeah, just for labels for understanding. And so my strong suggestion for everyone is to really just deeply look into your reality. And you can even write, you know, like a brain map or something. This is me in the middle. You draw yourself in the middle, and then there's all of this. And you can also bring in the beautiful things, the things that are amazing in your life. And then you put all the, you know, things that you don't really understand. Why is this still happening in my life? I can tell you, it's a subconscious programming. Unconscious program. Subconscious is when you are a little bit aware of it, but it's still just running in the background. And the unconscious is when you have absolutely no idea that it's there. It's like so ingrained in your being that you don't even recognize that you're actually behaving or manifesting that without knowing it. So the absolute best way of understanding what is in your conscious and unconscious mind is to watch what's happening. And also, of course, in your conscious mind, sometimes we do things and we create things with us knowing. So what I realized was, because I experienced exactly that, I changed so many things in my life, and I was still experiencing that this is not the life that I want. I still managed to create things that were belong to the old way of living, and I'm still doing it, like struggle and fighting and things happening around me. But there's also this last phase that I'm finding myself, I mean, the last of this this particular experience. It's the embodiment, which is, this word is being thrown all over the place. What does it really mean? And That is also a long discussion. I won't go into it now, but really this looks so different than what I thought. How does embodiment happen? I was just thinking, I'm going to walk my talk, I'm going to this and that. But you will have experiences like all of these new earth templates and the virtues that I talked about earlier, which is really very characteristic for the higher density fields. No, sorry, the higher dimensional fields. Density is when it's lower. So fifth dimensional and up. All of these virtues that I talked about, discernment, gratitude, peace, love, unity, grace, mercy. There's like tons. But it's not like, oh, I'm being trained in mercy right now. This is where it gets really confusing, because usually you will be trained in the opposite, through the opposite. Because the human, I would like to say I'm a student of the sun. I'm a student of light. I want to experience and I want to learn through light. I want to learn through love. But most of my journey has been learning through pain and suffering. So somehow, because we are so wired in this way, and because our mind is so, it holds a really tight grip on us, usually the quickest and most efficient way to learn for us seems to be that we are choosing to learn from pain and suffering. And so all of these beautiful virtues that we will experience, or it's available to us right now, but we will not be able to access it before we are a vibrational match to it. So the way that we usually learn is through experiencing the opposite. So mercy, I don't know the exact opposite, but it would be like judgment and going through experiences where you eventually come to an understanding and a realization of what mercy is. So what would the opposite of this terrible experience be? That would be mercy. So every time you go through something that is challenging for you, just try to use your mind and just come back to, so what would the opposite of this be? And then you know that this is what I'm being trained in right now. Okay, so we've already done quite a lot today. So 1.5 hours out, I wanted to close this journey with you with a very peaceful meditation. I will not use my bowls now because that is a very strong transmission. And I think we did not enough for our subconscious, unconscious minds today. So we're going to play some music and just close this beautiful session. I would love to hear if you guys have how you have experienced this, because as I could see, there are really a wide range of people. We have men in the house, which I'm so thrilled about. We need men. We need your power and your, we're bringing the divine masculine in, both through men, but also in our female bodies. So everything is about integration and union. This year and ahead, it's we cannot nurture this. Feels like everything on earth right now is about separation and dividing people and putting people like genders, like all discussions, all conflicts on the planet is about division. And basically just do not feed into anything. Just come into your hearts and know that everything is oneness. And when we come up to these higher levels where we can actually tune into the whole game going on down here, from this higher level, we realize it's all just like, what do you say, like dark horses. They are being just put in. It's like, oh, let's send in this now. Let's send in this. It's like a screenplay. It's just all organized and orchestrated for us to be able to master our human experience and not buying into all of the crap, all of the illusions, all of the lies and manipulations. There is just one truth, and that is that we're all one. Even if we cannot feel it, but we can feel it when we go up here. Then we can feel the oneness, and that we really just want to hug the other person, and even if they are behaving in a just horrific way, yes, you move away and you send love on a distance, but there's no need for judgment or thinking that actually initially in my journey, I had a lot of these really terrible, like emotionally terrible experiences because I feel very deeply, so it feels like dying sometimes. But most of my crying was also because I felt this soul who has incarnated in a body, who's behaving so badly towards other people, that the tears came from a sort of compassion and like this feeling that humanity is so lost, but also so on track because everyone is playing their part, so that those who are gonna, many that are present here now do not have the capacity and they are not able to make this shift. But all of us who are here to actually participate in lifting the bars and to raising our vibration so high that it will bring everyone with us. But we wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't have really worthy opponents. And worthy opponents, what is that? That is people who are behaving really out of integrity, out of separation, out of fear, most of all, out of loneliness, of feeling completely separated from everything. Those are the people who have accelerated me mostly on my path. And then, of course, it comes to a point where these vibrate out. They just repel very quickly from your life. And so you don't have to deal with that. But we have to deal with ourselves. That's why they're there in the first place. Okay, so everyone just make yourself comfortable. If you have some water there, just drink a little bit. And I would love for everyone to just float a little bit, to float with this closing of our space and this incredibly powerful portal where we have had so much assistance from different beings. And just feel into that gratitude and letting go and allowing yourself to unhook from, let's call it the matrix, but from the illusions, from the manipulation, from drama, from anything that is distorting your life experience right now. I will use my hands and my body to just create something called, I'm weaving a field of light around you, around me, and I'm transmitting it to you, and you can watch it later. But right now, you just close your eyes, take a deep breath. And through my hands and my body, I'm weaving a palette, beautiful palette, colors around you and inside you, that you become this field of oneness that is just filled with love, compassion, just remembering that this is all a game. It is a dream. And we have the ability and the capacity to bring our soul essence into this dream. We are the director of this dream, participants. Oh, yes. Feel the energy surrounding you, embracing you. This intertwined, beautiful, weaving patterns of light in all different pastel colors that is bringing us all together. helping us realize the truth of everything, the higher purpose of everything that is going on. Deeply. Allowing remembrance of who you truly are. Come, your awareness. Shauya, Jiatya, Varalashi. Shauya, Una Hiya Tiashta. Mayuya Tiashta. Nitya, Udoshta, Udoboyati. Yayoshi, Aojiati. Ashtoyati. Feeling the honor of being here on earth right now. Knowing that this opportunity is something you wish to embrace, to nurture, and to fully step into. This is why we are here now. To really contribute best versions of ourselves, whatever that may be at any point. But just the choice of becoming fully aware that it's in your hands. It is filled with love. It's not any expectation, nothing like that. It's just really just stepping up and showing up in our lives. Becoming the sun in whatever we do. Chauya, Chaya, Yakana, Yestoya Tian, Ayashit, Ash, Idai, Koral Oshtiat, Yatien. Now slowly come back to your body. Just decide to bring this high vibration with you into your everyday life, knowing that you can come back to this recording in this vibrational field, the portal that we created together today at any point. Now put your hands on your heart. And just slowly come back to the field. And I thank you so, so much from the depth of my heart for staying also so long. And you can watch the replay. If you watch one more time, it's ridiculous how much more you will gain. And if you listen a third time, there will be even more. But for the step from 1 to 2 times is absolutely incredible, because your consciousness, if it was not attuned to my field, for example, it will not be able to take in everything that I say. And also, as so much has been transmitted, that repetition is one of 2 things, or maybe 3, but at least one of the most important things to reprogram the subconscious, which is the driving force of 95% of what we create. So you can listen to the whole transmission once more, and then you can also just choose those sequences where there is a light language given, and also with the crystal balls, and you can just repeat and repeat and repeat. This is what I've done for 15 years, 13 years, listened again and again and again and again, because it goes into our subconscious. And even if you fall asleep listening to it, it's still all good, because it goes into the part of our brain that is not available to us. So this is how we do it in habituation. It's our habits, and starting to actually do everything, changing our habits every day. This is what eventually will be the embodiment of enlightenment and higher consciousness, higher levels where we will access, our life will just transform without our effort, because our vibration is giving us access to other parts of this reality experience, which we didn't have access to before. So you would say, oh, but I don't know this and that, and I've never seen this and that. No, because you don't have access to that level of consciousness. You don't have access to that TV channel. So yeah, repetition, changing our habits step by step, being very gentle and generous with ourselves, kind to others. And yeah, also I must say then, I almost forgot, and I also want to leave you with this high vibration in your bodies. But we will continue doing this. This was the only one that was free. And the next ones, there will be 5 more webinars the next following Sundays. And the cost is 222 euros. So that is approximately 44 euros per time. But I want to package it in all of it, because it's really a huge upgrade if you get all of them. So these will be private, of course. This one I will post all over, because I also, my true purpose is giving. Living is giving. It's what gives my life purpose, but also I need to sustain myself, and also I need the people who are really dedicated and who really wants to upgrade themselves and to have an accelerated journey, and not having to take all of these, well, you know, we always come back to the path, so it's okay regardless of what we choose, but I want to offer a roadmap which keeps you a little bit more on an efficient route. So this is what's going to happen those next Sundays, and I've gotten some of the topics already, which I mentioned to you just briefly, but as you can hear today, everything is just flowing through. There's no preparations. So what's coming through is coming, and I just have like a little bit of an idea what will be presented during the transmission. And so yes, please just feel free to share this recording. I have never done exactly this before, but it will probably save itself somewhere on my computer, and then I will it would be nice if you want to receive it in that way, that if you can just write your emails in the chat box, because then I can send it to your emails, because it will be almost a 2-hour transmission. So I actually have to send it by email. Okay, everyone. Anything else that I need to say? No, I think we're good. And if there's something I did forget, please write it in the chat box, and I'll read it later. Or send me an email, or you have my contacts. Okay. I love you all so much. And thank you for being here. I truly appreciate each and every one of you, and wish you the most beautiful experience in the time ahead. And I see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.